Hey, what's going on, guys, girls? This is Beowulf back at it with another video. Man, huge announcement if you guys aren't aware with the channel. Man, why is this K like moving all around? So on the YouTube channel, I just hit over 3,000 people subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It might not seem like a big number, but like a year ago, I was at 250 subscribers. So to do this much already is a great accomplishment to myself. Build it bigger, take it to the next bar. And I also want to too is if you're new and you haven't checked out the merch, the Beowulf merch. This is what the back looks like. This is the RXT X shirt, and we got hats, tank tops, hoodies, t-shirts. Check it out. I have a link up above and a link in the description. So what we're gonna get at today in this video, here we got my 2018 Sea Doo RXT X 300, and that's kind of cool. This is the little work to pick up the balloons today. Or what I've seen in the comments from people is, are Sea Doos reliable? RXT X reliable? Is the RXP-X reliable? People are like, Yamaha this, and Sea Doo boo this, Sea Doo this, and Yamaha this, which doesn't make any sense. I'm not one where I'm gonna knock another brand. I think they're all cool. If I could own like every fast one every manufacturer has, I would totally do it. There's not one that's better than the other. It all kind of matters when it comes down to rider, the taking care of maintenance with it, and how you take care of it. I think that's the biggest thing. I've heard from people, and I won't name who it is or what, but people told me when they've had problems with their like RXT-X, and usually, pretty much my opinion, 99% of the time, it's the error of the person owning the jet ski than how it was made or how, you know, service and all this going at the dealer. And also too, in this video, I'm not paid by Sea Doo to be promoting this. I just have seen the comments, and I want to give a response to this. So realistically, the thing is, you know, like the biggest things you have to know when you're buying a machine like this is you have to be first making sure you're changing the oil a lot. It says every 50 hours to do it. My opinion, you should be doing it like every four to five times going out. It matters how long you're out. You still do every 50 hours change the oil filter, but you should be changing throughout the oil more often than what it recommends. It'll make sure your ski lasts longer. Two is, you know, you gotta learn how to do some of the maintenance yourself, you know, but it also matters too how knowledgeable you are with doing stuff like that. Not everybody knows how to work on something. Sometimes they leave it to the professionals for doing it. Myself, I don't really think this is ever gonna go to a Sea Doo dealer to get any type of work done on it. I'm gonna do it myself. It comes down to like, you know, I probably in this machine, so far I've changed spark plugs twice on it, just to make sure it's running right. Now I've seen a lot of people in the comments are like, oh, I don't want to buy one of these. You know, I've heard all these people's opinions, they'll have all these problems, I'll have to spend all this money. No, because what happens is where it gets costly is if you go to the dealer and get a lot of stuff done, they charge you a lot of money. So definitely, you should learn how to do the oil changes yourself and figure out the right tools you need to do that, then going to the dealer. Because in my opinion, like the dealers, especially right now when the season's getting hot, it can be weeks to get your oil changed. I mean, this isn't some McLaren, this isn't some Ferrari, this isn't some Lamborghini. There's no reason to be that long. And it can bring it to like high performance cars I've owned. There's people with like, they have tons of problems, and there's people that have no problems. Again, it all happens how you take care of it. When you remember when you're buying one of these, this is like the performance, the highest performance that Sea Doo sells. So you gotta realize when you're buying this, there's a little bit more maintenance to going into the jet ski than if you were buying like a Sea Doo Spark. If you had a Sea Doo Spark that wasn't supercharged and all this, you'd still have to do all the maintenance, but you wouldn't have to be doing it as frequent than a high performance vehicle. When you're going out there, you're doing like 80 miles per hour, or when they're stock, you're doing almost like 70. It's a high performance vehicle, it needs maintenance with it, and also too needs to make sure, you know, they can say it in your owner's manual, how you should be checking over this, checking the fluids, check this, check that. I mean, even the trailer has maintenance you have to do with it, and it's good to learn how to do it yourself. So my opinion, are these reliable? Is the RXT X, new one, 2018s and up, reliable? Totally it is. It's an awesome ski. It's just different things like, for example, if you're doing the flush out on the back, you probably shouldn't let it run for like not even 60 seconds. And if you kind of run the river, before I was flushing a lot, now I think now when I'm in the river, I'm not gonna do it as much, as often, but definitely when you're in the ocean, you have to flush it less than 60 seconds because that's where you have other little parts that aren't really, you should be running it that long. So that's my opinion. Also too is like when you go on the ocean, there's a lot more maintenance you have to be doing, cleaning and getting rid of all the salt water out of the ski from the exterior and inside the hull. There's a little bit more maintenance to all that. This isn't something you just buy and you just go, well, whatever. And the same as if you bought a high performance car, you couldn't just be like, yeah, whatever, do whatever maintenance with it. There's a little bit to this thing of what you need, but totally, they're bulletproof if you take care of them. If you, and especially too, the problems you have is if you go out there and just beat the snot out of the jet ski, you know, just being, you know, over revving or any of that, definitely it's gonna have tons of problems. It doesn't matter what brand you do that. If you went out there and abused the machine, driving it reckless out there, definitely you're gonna have any problems. Myself, the only maintenance I've had to do on this is oil changes and spark plug changes. That's it. And it's been really reliable. It just sucks a lot of fuel. As you can see the setup, I was out last, I didn't use it all, but this is usually when I'm out in the river for a longer time. I got the setup like that with the fuel jugs on it. The last video, if you haven't seen, I took my dog Pike out on the RXT X300, so it was pretty fun. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure you check it out. So, what I'm getting at is this is an awesome machine. Yamaha's an awesome brand. Kawasaki's an awesome brand. Honda's an awesome brand when Honda used to make jet skis. There's not one that's better. And it kind of irritates me when somebody goes, Yamaha is better than Sea Doo. And why that upsets me when somebody says that, my first jet ski I ever had was a 1997 Yamaha Wave Venture. Right, I remember being, let's see, how old was I when I got it? I had to be probably like 11 or 12 years old. I think that's, yeah, I was like 11 or 12 years old. Bought it brand new, and my parents lived on a private lake. So I was all excited, yeah, my first jet ski, whoa, I'm gonna let it rip. Couldn't wait to get in. We had so many problems with that thing. Like the spark plugs went bad. I remember this because it's like, I remember I was like all excited. All these friends come over out that weekend and we're like, yeah, we're gonna go on the jet ski. And I remember the spark plugs went bad like right off the bat. Like the thing it was having running issues right off the bat. And I remember like there was a certain type of, I think it was NGKs that the Yamaha took. That we couldn't get anywhere, and where this lake house was out kind of middle of like nowhere, so like your chances were like Walmart, and I think at the time, I don't know if we got it at Walmart, but I remember like it was impossible to get the spark plugs for this. We had to go to the dealer. So I think there was like, and it was just kind of like irritating with that. And plus that was a 2-stroke. So, you know, technology has obviously gone into 4 strokes and they're fuel injected and the whole 9 yards. But like my opinion, my experience owning a Yamaha, there was like, that thing had a lot of issues going on all the time. And it was always, every year, it had to go back to the dealer and try to fix, and it was like, but it was an awesome machine, get me wrong. We just sold it a year ago. So like around this time, yeah, like a year ago, it was right, no, yeah, it was right before, no, I think it was after I moved down to South Carolina, it was sold. I was gonna bring it with, but the thing was just like super aged. It was outside a lot, and especially in the season, it was always left outside. So the thing was like really worn out. I kind of wish I didn't sell it, so I could have done like a whole like restoration video on the ski, but at the time I didn't think of it. Now looking back, I should have. But the thing was kind of aging up there. But to me, doesn't matter what year it is, what make or model. First, it matters like if you're first into this buying a jet ski, don't go out and buy the fastest thing if you've not kind of done it, because the last thing you want to do is go get one of these machines and it's way overpowered. Like I've seen a couple of people, I won't name names, but if you watch the channel, you might know who you are. There's a lot of people who go out and buy one of these and have like no hours on it and then start changing all these parts on it. To me, that is like a big mistake. Because first you should get used to what the thing is stock. If you start changing things like the sponsons on this, how would you know how it's supposed to ride if you've not ridden it with it on there? Or if you do performance mods, you really won't understand what it is. And realistically, the first 5 hours, you should just have it be stock and break it in and then start planning the route of what you want to do. But everybody where you live, there are gonna be some places where there's speed limits. Like when I hit my parents at this lake house, it was like not even 40 miles per hour was the speed limit. You couldn't even own, it was a private lake, you couldn't even own one of these because it would be too big of a CC engine that they had. There was all these like crazy rules. That's what's awesome down here is there's like no speed limits, no rules. There's rules, but not like crazy rules. And definitely it's a fun machine. And if you're into getting it or looking to trade up, definitely go look at one of these. But also too, do your research and figure out what you're into. This thing all around is a really nice jet ski. Now I've seen a few comments of people go, why are you getting Yamaha instead of this? Now that's a really good question. Now when I was in the market to pick up both these skis, my thing when I saw this was the options of accessories. Now when you look at any of the Yamaha models, it could be a GP1800 or whatnot, look at the setup already, what I got with the fuel on there, and one's this attachment can come on and off, and I have another one, it's just bungee cords holding this thing on, and I can go super fast, make crazy turns, it's not coming off. Now the Yamaha can't do that. That's why I went with this. Now you can get attachments on the back, and you can put fuel, and I wouldn't say I wouldn't go out and buy a Yamaha GP1800. Yamaha, if you're watching, look it up, call me up, send me an email if you want to get the showing some Yamaha content. But when I went to go out and look at this, there was like, you have the speakers, let alone the bright yellow color, that was really attracting me to it. And the deck is really nice. I mean, definitely if you're taking some people out, right now I have the rear seat off, but that's like the little things like that intrigued me into it. And especially the big thing when I was coming down here, South Carolina, there's really not a lot of Yamaha dealers. So that's where, like I've owned a Speedster 150 2012 Sea Doo supercharged boat. That was a blast. That has the older engine it used to be in those. That was the 260 engine. This is the 300 that's in it. So that's kind of why I went that route with getting this. Now I know in the future there's other content I want to get, like probably like a Kawasaki stand-up jet ski or a Sea Doo Spark Tricks, or maybe possibly Yamaha GP1800. It's kind of planning out, and I think what's kind of steered me not to get a Yamaha is that we already got jet skis for speed right here. It's kind of defeating to go get another one that's for speed. I want something that's like totally different, and that's what I'd probably do with my next purchase of going at it. And it's cool because, they got the Yamaha GP1800R, and they got, the digital dash, and they replaced a few things. They look really cool, but the thing I've seen myself from people that own those have said they wish they got one of these. All the time. All the time. I can't, it's many people that I have fingers have told me that they wish they got one of these, or they want to get one of these if they are not completely happy with their Yamaha. When you hear that from other people that own them, they might say something right there with purchasing one of these. So I just think you should look into that before you make a purchase. If you're lucky in some areas where you can go do a test ride with them, definitely go look in that. And then also too, it's all about what your budget is. Myself, I don't finance anything, I pay cash for all my equipment. Now, not everybody's lucky to have that. I think, check in on what you're financing. If you're doing financing, how much you put down, how much your monthly payments. The hard thing when you're buying like a toy like this, it's better to own it outright instead of financing, because you can be stuck paying, I don't know what all works out with it, how many months or years, you know, with it, but definitely look into doing, you know, what fits in your budget. If you don't have the money, don't go out and buy the fastest one. Maybe go with the Sea Doo Spark and kind of work your way up. And also too, the insurance makes a difference between all the models. You know, what the size engine is how it goes about your insurance. So there's a lot to think about that when you're purchasing equipment. And also too, is, you know, like how long you're planning on having it. To me, I don't know how long I'm gonna own this. I've put a lot of money into it. There's a lot of other stuff I want to change and improve on it to make it my own way. So, and it kind of sees what comes out in the next couple of years with Sea Doo or other manufacturers out there were doing it. My opinion, I really love my RXP-X 300. I remember 2012 when those first came out, and I decided to get in the boat instead of buying the RXP-X. It was in the 260, the 2012, but I remember seeing that and just going, oh man, I want one of those things so badly. It's like it was the same engine that was in my boat, but then the boat was fast, but that thing was just a rocket ship. So to me, I've wanted that body style the RXP-X is on the other side for a very long time. So I was really excited to get one of those, and it's neat because that's the pinnacle of where the RXP-X hull has came with the handlebars adjustable and stuff like that. So kind of do your research. You know, like the big thing is one of these going in the ocean. I think the RXP-X hand down is better riding than the ocean. But everybody's different. To me, I kind of like that. Like they both ride completely different. And if you actually rode both of them and played around, like the one thing I was kind of upset, which I don't understand why Sea Doo didn't do, why they did this, is the sponsons are different between a base model RXT, the RXT X 300, and the GTX Limited. Each one, the sponsons are different. What kind of upsets me on it is that, you know, the RXP-X has adjustable ones, which really improves the ride when you're on it. This one, they just had them where they're fixed. And to me, I just don't understand that, why they would do that route with it. I wish it was adjustable, because like, my opinion, I wouldn't go buy aftermarket sponsons for the RXP-X. I love how it handles. To me, there's not much more you can fix with it. This, I feel like there's more out of the ski that needs. But if you're looking at buying one of these, don't go getting one of those until you get a familiar with how this thing rides. Especially too, like when I adjusted the sponsors of RXP-X, when I had a passenger in the back, it didn't feel like it was real comfortable having somebody on the back of the ski. This one, I've had it like my dog in my lap, I've had people on the back. You can't even feel when there's like a person on the back, especially when I have my dog in my lap, you really couldn't feel the thing ride different. And that's why I have to say this thing is really nice. And it's fun. I mean, on the weekend, my opinion, if it's going out on the weekend, there's tons of people out riding, hands down, I'll take the RXT-X out before the RXP-X, because you got the music, you got the whole, you have the whole getup to be out there. More fuel, all that, the big storage area. So it's definitely a cool ski, and getting back to reliable, you know, you just got to be up on the maintenance, and if anybody has issues, you know, like some people are like, oh, this would be all costly with maintenance. No, if you learn how to do all it yourself, it's actually really cheap. I mean, the oil, do it yourself is cheaper. Also look at sometimes too, like different aftermarket oils than the Sea Doo oils. The Sea Doo oil that BRP sells, a lot of people don't realize, knowing that's a castor oil. I've been using a Shell oil in this that I find it's pretty nice. It's not as expensive, especially when you have to frequently change the oil all the time. And but I still get, you know, like the oil filter and all that stuff from the, you know, from a dealer or online with Sea Doo. And the same with the spark plug. So definitely, the ski's reliable. Anybody out there trying to fool you that they're not reliable or completely wrong, it matters how somebody takes care of it. It is not the machine of how it's built. If somebody treats it like junk, it will be right like junk. It'll be reliable like junk. If you treat it like awesome, you're gonna have no problems at all. And also too, is you gotta remember, the faster you make it go, you know, like if you go out and buy all the parts, you know, everything out there you can buy, like any high performance vehicle, you're gonna have issues then. I've seen people like myself, I have the Dodge Challenger Hellcat, right? 700 horsepower, awesome. I've had no issues with that car. All I've had to buy is tires, oil, that's it. No, nothing else. I mean, it's hardly ever even been to a dealer for anything. Now, I've seen people online that have Dodge Demons, which is basically the same car, different differential, different engine that's in it. Well, it's basically the same engine, but it's all this tweaked parts, different superchargers and all that. But all these people are blowing their differentials. Again, it gets to be how you're taking care of it and the abuse you're putting it through. Does it mean the Dodge Demon's a piece of junk? No. Does it mean that you should be drag racing it all the time and doing that? You take that risk once you start doing it. Also, too, I've seen everybody who's blown their differentials on there are not running the tires, you know, the drag radials that Dodge recommended. So again, you know, the Dodge through the testing, they put like a race tire on all this. People want to have, you know, wider or bigger, different compound tires, more stickier. You're gonna have a problem. So that's what I'm trying to get at there. You know, like nothing is totally bulletproof, but again, it comes to how you're taking care of it. So it is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this answers any of your questions. Is the RXT X reliable? Yes, it is. If you're looking to buy one, pull the trigger and do it. I don't get anything out of this from Sea-Doo. They're not sending me machines. They're not doing nothing. Sea-Doo, if you're watching, you definitely should because you're missing out. You never know, Sea-Doo. Yamaha might come knocking at my door. Kawasaki. You know, so you guys better jump. We're doing it, Sea-Doo. So it's the end of the video. I'm just trying to be funny. Also too, if you haven't checked, give it a plug with the merch. Check out the I Am Beowulf merch. You can match your ski like, yo! If you haven't hit the subscribe button and you're totally new to the channel, make sure you smash it. I'll see you guys in the next upload. Be driven to win in life. It's the end of the video.